all right. Fuck. Still raw. So my name is Éanna Ryan, I'm 41 and I come from Galway. What I am training for is the Marathon des Sables. It's, you could say, 250 kilometers. It's the guts of 6 marathons back to back, self-sufficient. So you basically carry your own food, 40-degree heat, and it's in aid of, I suppose I'm doing it for myself originally. My uncle Iggy Daly recently passed away from a rare cancer disease called Cholangiocarcinoma. It's basically a bile duct cancer, which really goes undetected without knowing that anything is happening inside. So everything you see basically on the outside is the complete opposite of what's going on the inside. Within diagnosis of the first day, he was unfortunately taken from us within 3 weeks. So basically the whole reasoning behind all of this is there's no screening, there's no awareness, and there's no funding to get this up and running. So my aim would be to create as much awareness as possible, stop other families getting caught blindsided, and basically trying to raise as much money as they possibly can.
For those who don't know, what is the Marathon des Sables?
So it's the Sahara Desert. It's an ultra marathon, 250 kilometers. It's over 6 stages, so you could say 6 marathons back to back. As mentioned, it's self-sufficient, so I'm carrying my own food on your rucksack. I think it's no greater than 13 kg, but I could be corrected. And as you can imagine, it's rough terrain. So you go from rocky kind of terrain to, you have your dunes, sand dunes up to knee high. So this is going to be, it's basically a mental battle along with ultra marathon running. It's going to take severe strength. But I suppose I am training under a good cohort with Damien Brown, which is under the Iron Mind Institute. I trained with him about a year or two ago, and it was called the CSU training plan. This built me, I suppose, from the ground up in terms of my mental strength. Always had decent strength in the gym, was okay in GAA, but the mental side of things is something that I've always been fascinated by, and trying to get your body to that next level. I think if you're physically fit, the mental side of things will give over before your body will. So Damien has us in great shape for that. We're training hard, and hopefully come next April I am ready to take it on.
You mentioned Damien Brown. For anybody who doesn't know, Damien rowed across the Atlantic, first guy to row across the Atlantic, if I'm right.
Yeah, 100%. Damien, I suppose, has taken on a lot of extreme adventures, and like that, he's challenging himself, and he's going to leave some legacy behind him. But when he walks into a room, I think he's 6 foot something. He has a huge presence about him. He's an aura about him. He just has a calmness in his voice with a deep kind of a tone, and it takes you over. But when we did the CSU training, it's physically that side of it is fine, but it's the mental side of things that I'm just blown away by. the little triggers and the extra pieces that you learn through Damien and the Ironman Institute, I think will have us set up and ready to take this on. So I'm looking forward to the challenge.
You spoke about your uncle Iggy. Can you share a little bit about who Iggy was and what he meant to you and your family, I suppose?
Yeah, I suppose Iggy wasn't only an uncle, he was nearly like a second dad. He huge presence in my life all throughout, and same with mum and my sisters and dad. Their family was nearly always integrating with us. If there was a barbecue, if there was a party, we used to always say he'd be stuck in it, but you'd miss him dearly. And I think for anyone that doesn't know him, it's a pity, because he had such a big smile, such a big heart. There's very few that don't know him, I'll put it that way.
I spend a lot of time with you on a daily basis, and I very quickly picked up on how special Iggy was to you specifically. How do you think that came about? Do you think you see some of yourself in him, or is it an admiration thing?
Yeah, I suppose 100%. Like there was a couple of things where years and years ago, in terms of business-wise, he always had a great business head in him. That probably guided me along that path as well to a certain degree, but he's just I think the biggest part of it is such a big heart and such a fabulous family man. He built his family, or say family and wealth from the ground up, I suppose, having Iggy Daly's bar in Athenry, and then moved on to working with EasyFix, where again he knew nothing about that, but started from scratch and built that up to something fantastic as well. But I suppose you have that side of him, you have the humorous side to him, you have the family man. He was just there was something about him, just an all-round aura about him, and he just meant the world to us, to be honest, you know.
How does running for Iggy change how you approach your training?
No more than that. Look, as I said, I am going to be in great fettle in terms of the Ironman Institute having us fully prepped and ready. But there are triggers and there are elements in there that you'll need to lean on and use through the Ironman that we have learnt. And Iggy most definitely is one of them. I suppose the fact that I can is one thing I lean on. There's a lot out there that can't. Another man who set up Cholangiocarcinoma Ireland is James Hastings. He's currently battling at the moment, and if you've just seen the fight that himself and Iggy have shown, it's just incredible strength, and to be able to do that when you know the writing is on the wall is just unbelievable. So the fact that I can do this is the reason I definitely lean on that.
And what's been the toughest part of that training so far? I mean, for me, most of us normal people would really struggle with a challenge like this, and I think that probably gets in our head a little bit, where we from day one think, well, that's just too far out of my reach. For you, on those really, really tough mornings, you know, first of all, what do you think has been the toughest part of your training? And secondly, in the really, really, really tough mornings, where do you find that deeper strength to keep going?
Yeah, so I suppose that the toughest part of this for me is, you know, everyone can say they're training and you can get your 10Ks done and you can get your weights done, and Damien's course is putting you into physical weakness. Like you're literally at the edge of, I want to give up, I don't want to do this, I can't do this, I'm not going to make it. But the way he has built this program is he wants you to get into those states so that you have triggers, and you have his whole, you know, you have the likes of your breath work, your posture, all of this comes into play, where it guides you back into, I can do this, I'm going another couple of seconds. So you're ebbing and flowing between these states. And they're the states you need to go into, but that is the hardest, because your body naturally wants to be in a comfy, cozy, put the blanket on you and have popcorn.
Where I am, basically.
But that's not where you're going to learn. That's not where you're going to get to the next level. So each week we're gradually edging away at that until we get to Marathon des Sables in April, and that's when I think I'll be physically ready. But in terms of the mornings, I've always, I suppose, M6 Motors, to myself and yourself, we're in there for 8:30. You're putting your day's shift in, so that's first and foremost, that's going to be priority. So for me to get up in the morning, it's 5 or 5:30. It's not easy, definitely. Now this time, summer mornings are easier. Rain is hitting the window, the duvet's over you. I'm just proud of myself, I suppose, that I'm now at a level that's just part of who I am. I get up, I have my prep done the night before in terms of meals, I have my gear ironed, I have my clothes for work ironed, and I'm just gone. So I'm lucky in a sense that I'm now at that level, but I wasn't always there. For anyone, I suppose, starting off, you just have to create these little small habits at the start. Gradually, even if you slip out of it for a day or two, get back into it again, and it'll eventually become who you are. So.
Talk to me about your training blocks. What do your daily training blocks look like?
So you'll have 4 stages, 4 training blocks in general, and then you'll have a couple of days off at each of those. It's like 5 days off, 5 days on, 1 day off. You'll have endurance training, you'll have interval training, you'll have a bike erg, which will take you to that extreme areas of the learnings, basically. You also have your strength work, which will be lower based, and then you have your upper base strength work as well. For those who are kind of going to have a right shot at this, you will be doing upper and lower together as well in another phase. So it is tough. I'm not going to say it's, when you're back to back every day for 5 days, you can't have time to worry about your muscles being sore. So it's important to get the right fueling, the right water intake, do your ready to train and stretching, and then just get at it and put your body through that level of extreme again and go.
How do you think you'll feel when you cross the finish line in the Sahara?
Yeah, I suppose I visualised it, trying to visualise the Sahara and being in the middle of nowhere. You can only visualise so much, but I see myself crying, if I'm being honest. It'll be something it'll be a huge achievement. It'll be done for Iggy, and for me and for our family, it'll be big.
I know I'm incredibly proud of what you're doing, and I have a huge amount of admiration for what you're doing. How do you think Iggy would feel about what you're doing?
I'm sure he'd be proud. Sorry. Fuck.
It's okay.
It's tough. That's a tough one. Give me that floor if you don't mind. Sorry.
Take your time.
It's a hard one. Still raw. Go again, so.
Floor is yours.
I'm sure he'd be very proud, but I'm sure he'd have some sort of a piss take for me and say, why can't I do it in Clonmerdale pitch or something along that line. But no, I know for sure he'd be proud.
Yeah, as I said, we're very proud and we've
Appreciate
huge
that.
admiration for what you're doing. So Aine, what exactly is your fundraising goal, and most importantly, how can people help you in this goal?
Yeah, so the fundraising goal would be raise awareness, raise as much funds as possible, and to try and support me as best I can and to get this fully up and running would be click the link below. Anything at all. I know times are tough. Anything at all that you can share would be greatly appreciated. If there's businesses out there that can give that extra little bit, or if you know someone that had cholangiocarcinoma, if you can help at all, it'd be great. And just get it out there.
Excellent. Well, listen, Aine, thanks so much for doing this interview today.
Thanks yourself.
And most importantly, thanks for doing the challenge and raising this money for such an important charity.
Great. Thank you.
We're all very proud of you.
Thanks
Well done.
again.
I am love.
If you're going to do it, do it.